All life forms are constantly changing over generations. Life started from just a single cell and, with time, became more complex. This gave rise to an extraordinary diversity of multicellular organisms. That is called evolution. We as humans are the result of thousands and thousands of years of evolutionary history. And now, we are having a dramatic impact on the evolution of other species. But let me tell you a little story. This is George. George is a rabbit. George is curious. He wonders about his existence and why he has floppy ears. He is amazed by the ears of other famous rabbits. Those magnificent ears are sophisticated results of natural evolution. They allowed rabbits to hear predators in time and to escape. In nature, any rabbit like George would stay desperately deaf to alarming sounds. Thus, floppy-eared rabbits would disappear as a result of natural selection. But wait, this doesn't help George to understand why he exists and why his ears are floppy. Well, George is not a rabbit living in the wild. George is domesticated by humans. Humans encouraged floppy-eared rabbits to reproduce, hoping to obtain more of them, just because they're cute. And it worked. So, no, George, it's not natural evolution that gave you those ears. It is selection, driven by humans. But at least, George, you are not alone. This raises another question for George. Are rabbits the only organisms that have been selected like this by humans? No. Look at Carol. Before human intervention, she looked like this. Not yummy, huh? But humans started choosing specifically the carrots that looked more yummy and crossed them. Like this, they obtained more yummy carrots the generation after, and so on. This, and what happened to George's ancestors, is called selective breeding. But, hey George, do you know that now humans have discovered a new way to modify organisms? To do this, they need to access some very intimate information about you. Imagine that everything that makes you who you are would be written in a book. Well, that book exists. Its text is your genetic code. To find it, we need to get down to the smallest unit constituting your body, your cells. Inside your cells, there is a very, very long string called DNA. This is your genetic code. And in this genetic code, somewhere, it is written that you have floppy ears. Scientists now have powerful technologies to read genetic codes of most organisms. And, even better, they have found ways to edit them. Wow! But, George, what kind of things can we do with these technologies?